Hey guys, I was just talking to a potential buyer of mine, and she had a question about earnest money deposit. And I realized a lot of people don't really understand what the earnest money deposit is. And I wanted to make a quick video to go over that. So, what is the earnest money deposit? It is also called a good faith deposit. So, basically, what it is a deposit that shows your commitment, your good faith as the buyer to the seller to buy their home that is listed on the market. So it's like it shows a commitment from you as the buyer that you will buy their home. So also I would say that that's why a lot of times if you make a really low earnest money deposit, some sellers will not take you seriously, and you would have some sellers as well who will ask their listing agent for a specific amount for as a seller deposit. It shows that you're serious. That's why when the market went really crazy a few years ago, about 2-3 years ago, people were making super high earnest money deposits because it shows that they are committed. It shows that they are willing to buy this house, even though there are multiple offers. They want to be the one to be taken seriously, so they made higher earnest money deposits. In a slower market, like I would say right now, in some markets, in most of the markets, it's a little bit slower right now. You can get away with making a lower earnest money deposit within 1% and 3% of the price of the home is a good earnest money deposit. When you make a super low earnest money deposit, it just shows that you're not committed. It just shows that you're willing to just walk away if these things doesn't work, or if you just don't want the house anymore, you can just walk away. And this is what it looks like when you make an offer with a very low earnest money deposit. When do you make that deposit? So when you see a house, you like the house, you make an offer, that your offer get accepted, you get about 3 business days to make that deposit. The money goes straight to the title company. Typically the title company will contact you, the buyer, directly, and then they will tell you how to send that money to them, usually via wire, or you can drop a check to the title company, and then they hold that money. Can you lose that money? Yes, you can. Let's say let's go over some scenarios where you can and you can't, right? So let's say you have an inspection period of 10 days. So typically the inspection period is about 15 days. This is what it says in the contract, unless specified otherwise. So if you want a bigger window to do the inspection, you can ask for it. Typically, that doesn't look good either, unless you cannot find an inspector on time, unless the inspector you really want as the buyer don't have time, then that's something else, okay? But as your agent, I will give you about 3 inspectors to choose from. I will give you a list to choose from, and I will get on that inspector as well as you to get it done as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. So I usually shorten the inspection period from 15 days to, let's say, 10 days or 7 days. And when the market was insane, we did it within 3 days. You don't want to do that inspection on the last day of that period, because you want to have enough time to do the inspection, get the report, go over the report, and then ask the seller for some repairs if there are repairs that is needed in the house. And typically this is for a resale home. Of course, the process can be a little bit different when you're buying like a brand new home, let's say from a big builder like D.R. Horton or Lennar. Of course, a lot of times you buy that home, it's not ready yet. You can still get an inspection. You should still get an inspection, but it's a little different. I can do another video for that, but it can be a little different. But this is like if you're buying a resale home, or you're buying a home from a smaller builder that goes through the same process and use an as-is contract, the Florida as-is contract. So you get to do the inspection within that period that you ask for, and then you go over the inspection report. And then let's say there are repairs to do in the home. You present those repairs. I, as your agent, will present those repairs to the seller's agent. And let's say the seller disagree and you feel like you cannot buy this home with all of those repairs needed, you can decide to cancel, and then you would get your money back within that period. But let's say we had a 10-day inspection report. I get on you, I say, hey, go ahead, get this inspection scheduled so we can get it done, but you didn't do it, or you didn't listen to me, and then you waited until the 10th day, and then you did the inspection report, and I don't get it until the 11th or the 12th day after we are under contract. You're out of that inspection period window. So let's say you go back and tell the seller, well, there are repairs to be done, I don't want to move forward. The seller can decide to hold on to your money for not performing within that window that you asked for the inspection to be done. And but let's say that there are repairs to be done, and then the seller doesn't want to do those repairs, and you feel like you cannot move forward with the deal. Then you get your money back. You get your earnest money deposit back. At the end, let's say we do go to closing, that earnest money deposit, it goes towards your closing cost at the end of the transaction and everything. It goes towards your closing cost. Oh, what happened if I have a loan like a VA loan where there is no deposits or anything like that? So at the end, you would get some money back at closing to come to you. I would say every VA closing I've done so far, my clients got money back at closing, on closing day. So you would get that money back, but you do have to still make that deposit, even though you have a VA loan, to show good faith and commitment that you want to buy this house. So this is what it is for. What else? Let's say you are out of your window for the lender to prove that you can get the loan, like the 30 days that they usually ask for the loan to get processed. Let's say we are on the 31st day, the 32nd day after we went under contract. Chances are you will lose your earnest money deposit if you are outside of that window. I had a deal that fell through on closing day because the agent just was hiding things from me. The agent that was representing the buyer, and I was the seller's agent, they were hiding that from me. The lender for the buyer was hiding that from me. I think they thought maybe they could make it work, and at the end of the day, they didn't make it work, and the buyer couldn't get the loan. So my seller ended up having to keep that earnest money deposit. So, it happens. And then you have cases where it's nobody's fault and the seller is very nice and they decide and say, hey, I don't want to keep this money, and they give you your money back. But this is rare, but I've seen it happen. So these are cases where you can get your earnest money deposit back, and cases where you don't get your earnest money deposit back. And I hope that it helps you understand what an earnest money deposit is. So if you like this video, let me know.